Hi, everyone. Welcome to our well-being webisode. Today, we're talking about creating a healthy workspace. My name is Emily Berry. I'm a health services specialist here at Geisinger. And with me today, I have Chelsea Morrison. She is one of our senior wellness specialists overseeing Geisinger's wellness programming. So we are excited to chat with you all today about what makes a workplace healthy, how to spot areas for improvement, and most importantly, how to build a more supportive and energizing work environment. Before we get started, I just want to disclaim that the information we're providing today is just to increase your awareness. It's not intended to be medical advice. If you believe you have any medical conditions or specific questions regarding your health, we ask that you please see and talk to your physician. So, first and foremost, welcome, Chelsea. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, thanks. Excited to be here.
So, since many of us spend significant parts of our day at work, I think it's worth exploring what truly makes a workplace healthy, from the physical environment we're in to the personal strategies that really support our overall well-being. So, let's start with a question that we may hear all the time. So, what exactly is a healthy workspace, and why is it so important for our overall well-being?
Yeah, so that's a great question. When you think of a healthy workspace, it's about more than just having, a comfortable chair, having a nice desk. You need to be in an environment that supports your well-being physically, of course, but also emotionally and mentally. Ergonomic setup is important, right? But you also need to think about things like having access to natural light. What you decorate your space with, what you surround yourself with, even the culture of your team around you, it makes a huge difference. To share an example with me personally, I work from home. So for me, it's really important that I have a dedicated space that, I can focus at, I can work from. But I made sure I chose a place that has a window so I don't feel like I'm trapped all the time. My walls are decorated with things that bring me joy, pictures that maybe my daughter has drawn or pictures of things that are important to me. Just so that way it's a space that I spend a lot of my time in, and then it makes me feel, happy being there. So I think those things are really important. Also, having a great team that you connect with daily is super important. We have to have a healthy workspace. When we feel safe and we feel supported and we feel energized at work, we do tend to be more productive, we're more engaged, and it can make us, have greater job satisfaction.
Right. So now that we've got a sense of what a healthy workspace might kind of look like, let's talk about how to recognize when a workspace might be negatively impacting our health. Sometimes the signs might not be obvious, but Chelsea, what are some common signs that a workplace might be contributing to higher stress levels?
Sure. So, some signs you might not notice right away, but it could be something as simple as, you're feeling drained even after you've gotten a really good night's sleep. Or maybe you're just really having a hard time focusing when you're trying to work on things. Sometimes it's physical symptoms that you might notice. So maybe you have a lot of tension in your neck or your shoulders. Headaches are a common thing that people will often suffer from when they're under a lot of stress. Personally, that's something that happens to me. That's always kind of a red flag that I know, something's up. Emotionally, you could feel disconnected from what you're doing. Maybe you're feeling even a little bit irritable. And if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're like dreading work, those are some red flags that something in your environment is going to need adjusting.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful to hear. I think personally, when I find myself overwhelmed, I think it's like always those tiniest things. If I don't have the right balance with work or even like clenching my teeth, which more of a physical sign.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, recognizing those signs early, that could help us take action before it really does affect our health and well-being. So, beyond stress, there are physical aspects of our workplace that also play a big role. So I kind of want to shift to that here a little bit. Chelsea, why is movement during the day important, and what are some ways we can incorporate movement or activity while we're working?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I think we all know, we hear all the time, like it's important to move our bodies. We know there's a lot of physical benefits, right? So, it helps with our circulation, it helps with our posture, it helps with our mood. But in recent years, they've done a lot of studies on, the effects of prolonged sitting, especially because there are a lot of jobs where we are just at our desk all day and people don't move as much as they should. And, prolonged time sitting, it's linked to a lot of health risks. So it can impact cardiovascular health. It can impact our metabolic health. It can impact our mental health. So making sure that you're breaking up that time you're sitting and moving your body during the day is really important. Obviously outside of work, but certainly when you're at work, especially if you have a job that you're sedentary most of the day. You don't need to go to the gym. I mean, if you want to and you can, that's wonderful. I think for most people, that's probably not realistic. I certainly know I couldn't just run over to the gym on my lunch break. But you can start by just doing small things, even in your own personal workspace. So if you can, stand up, even once an hour or, after you have a meeting, doing stretching breaks can be really helpful. Even just doing like some shoulder rolls, neck stretches when you're sitting here at your desk can be helpful. Um, Getting up and walking is definitely always a good go-to. I always try to walk on my lunch break, and I would encourage other people to do the same. That sometimes can take a little bit of planning, right? Because you want to still make sure that you're having a healthy lunch and you're getting that break. So maybe prepping ahead of time to do that. But yeah, getting out and walking. Um, you can set hourly reminders. I know some people find that to be helpful. If you have, a fitness tracker or an activity watch, those like to remind us when we haven't been up and moving enough. So making sure we're listening to those reminders can be good. Because I'll be honest, there are times where, we kind of ignore those, but just making sure that you're standing up. If you can get a standing desk, those are great. I know some people like walking pads, but you have to do what works for your space, right? That might not be doable for where you're at. So just looking at your day and figuring out, where can I get small movements in, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, that's going to make a difference to break up those long segments where you're just sitting. I also think it's really important to normalize it. We should be encouraging our coworkers to get up and take a walk with us. Or, if you have a meeting and it ends a few minutes early, encourage everybody on the call to utilize that time to stretch or go take a break and go move. Those small little changes can make a big difference, not just for you, but your whole team. It's good physically, but mentally that can help you all feel refreshed. So I would just say if you have a few minutes, get up and move, stretch, walk, do whatever you can to just get your body moving.
Yeah, absolutely. It may look different from person to person, from job
Hmm.
role. Um, but I do love the tip of normalizing it and creating those small breaks of movement. I know I'm not wearing my Apple Watch today, but I do get those reminders. You've been basically sitting too long. Get up. You need to stand. I try my best to listen to them. I do try to get up, but it helps me.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of ignoring them, but here's your reminder to just, when it
Right.
pings you, listen to it, get up, 2 minutes, a 2 minute
Absolutely.
fitness break, whatever you got to do.
Absolutely. Definitely helpful. Now I want to shift gears more towards nutrition. So it can be tough to eat well when you're really busy at work or maybe you're on the go, depending on your role. I'd imagine that what we are fueling ourselves with can really have an impact on our workday as a whole, and we might not always be making the most healthy choice, but rather grabbing those quick and convenient snacks or drinks. So my next question is, what are some healthy eating tips for the workplace?
Yeah, I mean, eating nutritiously is definitely a challenge, especially when we're busy. And I just think we're all busy right now, right? Whether it's at work, it's outside of work. And so you have to, start with being intentional by what you're putting in your body and not just grabbing what's convenient. So that might take some planning ahead of time, right? That might mean, making a list for the week, making sure you're getting to the grocery store. I personally love to do like grocery pickup orders. That works well for me because it's convenient and I can, grab it after I get my girls from school. So, do whatever you have to do to set yourself up for success by having those healthy things on hand. But I would say it's always important to pack quick and easy snacks with you, so that way you know that there's going to be something healthy for you to grab, not just what's convenient. Some go-tos for me that I like, fresh cut up fruit or veggies, hummus, nuts, things that are going to have some protein and some carbohydrates. Those are going to help kind of sustain you. If you like yogurt, that's always a quick and easy option. And I would say this applies not just to the workplace, but just in general. If you know you're going to be busy after work going to your kids' activities, or maybe you have an appointment to run to, just keeping like a little lunch bag or a small cooler with those snacks can be super helpful. We don't make good choices when we're hungry. I think we all kind of know that. We get hangry and we just do what we have to do. So, if you set yourself up for success, then, you're more likely to grab those easy things. Um, Another thing to think about too is just hydration. So, making sure that you have water with you at all times, whether you're at work or, you're going to and from work, like in the car can be a great time to have some extra water and stay hydrated, especially if you have a commute. And just be mindful of what other beverages you're consuming, right? I mean, sure, this time of the year, I think we all love the pumpkin or we'll soon be getting into the holiday drinks, and those are fine to have in moderation. But generally, you want to make sure you're getting enough water because it's so important for our bodies, and you can mistake hunger for thirst. So just making sure you have water with you at all times, having those healthy snacks on hand, that can be super helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I always keep my water bottle right on my desk here,
I
easy
have
to
a very
grab.
big one. Mm.
So it's not just about our physical space when we're at work, right? Relationships, culture, they both matter too. The way we interact and support one another, uh, and also us feeling valued can have a huge impact on our well-being and also job satisfaction. How can we foster a more positive and supportive work culture, especially in high stress environments?
Yeah, so I mean, work culture is everything, right? We spend so much of our time at work. So it's really important that we are supporting each other, and it's important that we feel valued. So I think, communication is key. It's a great place to start with, when you're looking at culture, check in with your teammates. If it's a simple, if you use like, Teams, for example, send a quick message, send an email, call somebody, just check in to see how they're doing. Showing appreciation, that goes a long way. And just being honest when you're having challenges, organizations go through, different changes. And I think it's important that, as your work roles change and as you're doing different things, like, you just have to be communicating with people and letting them know, like, if something's not working, you need help, reach out. That's going to make you feel better. And it's going to help you connect with your teammates better. Of course, our leaders play a big role in our work culture, but everyone contributes to it. So, be kind to each other, be inclusive, be respectful, and celebrate the wins, even if it's a small one, even if it's just, messaging a teammate and, uplifting them for something good that they've done. Like that's going to help build morale. I really think we're all in this together. We need to support each other, and so just that connection and reaching out and recognizing one another, that can really be a powerful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's such an important point. Recognition can really go a long way. And feeling connected and supported can really change how we experience work. I want to talk a little bit about healthy boundaries next. So boundaries, they definitely can be difficult to set. We just take on so much, or maybe we always say yes because we didn't want to let someone down, or maybe you felt like it was like expected of you to do. And over time, that kind of pattern can really leave us drained and disconnected from the work we're doing and the work we care about. Chelsea, what are some healthy boundaries we could set at work to reduce stress and help maintain that balance?
Yeah, I mean, boundaries are essential, right? Whether we're at home or at work, like we have to get better at setting those. I think we live in a very much yes world where we want to say yes to everything, but it's just not always possible, right? So, if you don't have the capacity to do something, it's okay to say no. Like that is a healthy boundary to set. Now, of course, you don't have to say, no, I'm not doing this. Like we want to find other options and we want to make sure that the work still gets done. But, if you truly can't take it on, it's okay to have that conversation and try to find another solution of how you can, make that better, how you can get it done. I think being able to disconnect from your workday is super important. So if you're in a job where, you have your set hours and, when you log off, you can truly log off for the day, you should do that. That is a boundary that you should set. Those emails will be there in the morning, the messages that are coming through, people don't always expect you to respond outside of hours. Sometimes people work different hours based on, their schedules. But if we are logged in and you have access to those things, we sometimes feel obligated to do that. So, I just think that's a healthy boundary to set to log off when you're able to. Of course, if you're like in an on-call position or something, that's different. But if the work can wait till the next day, I think you owe it to yourself to do that. Taking your breaks is important. Using your PTO is important. That's something that you've earned, and you should utilize it. We need to, relax and refresh and reset so that we can come to work and be our best selves. So, it's important to do those things. And I also think not overcommitting, it can be a great way to protect your energy. Setting boundaries is a good thing. It can help you feel connected. It can help you, stay motivated and engaged in your work, versus, kind of feeling consumed by it.
Right. Absolutely. And I think at times many of us could really get overwhelmed with our duties at work, and
Mhm.
even in our personal lives too. So it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget to take care of ourselves, which is very important. We should take care of ourselves. Um, what are some strategies to help prevent stress levels from rising and to help keep us energized throughout our whole work day?
So I would say, to prevent sort of, being stressed and overwhelmed, like start with prioritizing. So, knowing what really needs your attention, take care of the biggest tasks first. And if there's something that can wait, put that kind of down on the list. So you're not feeling, totally overwhelmed, kind of work on things in chunks. Build in like reset breaks. So, if you're starting to feel stressed, if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, you know yourself. So, if you know that you just need to take a few minutes, then do that. You could try kind of some stress management techniques like guided mindfulness exercises. Deep breathing is one that I think is super beneficial, and honestly you can do it anywhere. But even 5 minutes of that, that can help you, feel more energized. It can help reduce your stress levels. um, we kind of talked about this earlier, but just staying connected with your coworkers, it can really help. It reminds you that you're not alone. And taking care of yourself outside of work. So, you can't be like burning the candle at both ends, right? So if you're at home and you need help, ask for it. Make sure that you're feeling supported there. Spend a few minutes each day doing something that you like. So if you enjoy reading a book, or maybe you're someone who likes to knit or garden or cook, whatever it is that might bring you joy, make sure that you're doing that. So that way, you're filling your cup outside of work as well. And then, when you get to work, you'll feel better, you'll feel more energized and less stressed out.
So, yeah, absolutely. And for people who are realizing that they may be in an unhealthy workspace, what are some simple habits we can build into our day to support a healthier work life?
Yeah, I love this question. Even small habits can make a big impact, right? So, something as simple as starting your day with a positive intention that can really help you kind of set the tone for a good day. I think having an organized workspace makes a difference, and making sure you're getting outside for fresh air. I think we definitely underestimate the power of nature sometimes. So, just, having that fresh air, feeling the sunlight on your face, that can be helpful. And also just taking a few minutes each day to, reflect upon things, to write in a journal, like small little rituals like that, they can really help ground you. They can help create a sense of calm. And, if you're doing those, a little bit here and there every day, it can just kind of help you in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. I know one thing you brought up there was keeping your workspace clear of clutter. That's a huge one for me. So at the end of each day, I will clean off any like snacks I might have here, any notes I don't need. take down some of the sticky notes. So when I go back for the next day, it's a fresh space. So been a real big a good game changer for me, I guess you could say. I just recently started doing this habit. Basically, if my desk is cluttered, so is my attention and so is my mind. So I'm also able to spend less time looking for all the different notes that I've taken. So something I took on recently, but it's definitely been a help and something you mentioned there. But I think this conversation has been really, really helpful today. As we near the end here, I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaway would be. Like, what is one key message you hope viewers take away from today's discussion?
I would say, your workspace matters. Like you need to be intentional with it. So, whether it's physical or emotional, maybe it's cultural, that's all going to play a role in your overall well-being. And so, hopefully you've heard some things today that are going to be helpful. And, you don't have to overhaul everything overnight. So, maybe pick one area that you think you could do better in and just start with one small change. And then from there, you can build upon it when you feel like you're ready. Again, we spend a ton of time at work. You deserve to feel good at work. You deserve to feel supported. So, recognize, what areas could use improvement, pick something small, pick one thing to change, and then just work on building them up from there.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great key message to take with us. And I always like to end our conversations with additional resources so that those who are interested can continue learning beyond this and really stay empowered. Uh, are there any trusted resources that you would recommend for people to improve their workspace wellness or well-being?
Yeah, so I find the CDC's Workplace Health Promotion site. That could be a great place to start. They have resources for employers and employees, so kind of depending what kind of information you're looking for. And also the American Psychological Association site. They have a lot of good resources for coping with work stress, for how to create positive work environments. So that could be another good one. And of course, it's always good to check with your company specifically to see if you have any different programs, whether through your wellness program or through your employee assistance program. So your HR team can usually direct you to, any company specific resources there. And of course, if you ever have questions for us, we're always happy to, to find resources and share those with you. So you can email our team at wellness@geisinger.edu, and we're happy to connect you with those.
Great, thanks, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Uh, So that wraps up our last question for today. I will just pause here quick. I'll take a look in the Q&A, see if there's anything that came up. If you have a question, feel free to uh, throw it in there. If you have any questions beyond today's discussion, too, like Chelsea said, you can always reach out to our wellness team. So the email is wellness@geisinger.edu. But let me just give it a couple seconds, see if anything comes through here. I see a question if this is recorded. This is recorded, and we'll be able to share this afterwards. Yep. Okay. Other than that, I don't see anything coming into the Q&A. So first and foremost, thank you so much, Chelsea, for sharing your insights and your practical tips with us today. And I also want to thank everyone who tuned in as well. I hope this conversation gave you some helpful takeaways and maybe even a new perspective on how your workspace really can affect your well-being. Again, send any questions or feedback to wellness@geisinger.edu. And next month, don't forget to join us. We'll be talking more about the effects of headaches and migraines. So thank you all for tuning in, and thanks again, Chelsea.
Yeah, thanks for having me.